We gon' make our country great again, 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 great again. We gon' make our country great again, make our country great again.
With a record of no impeachments and no convictions, weighing in at a stern 215 pounds, from the streets of Queens, New York, the two-time leader and defender of the free world, the Teflon Don, Donald
Chelsea, Elon, RFK, Benz, we squared up. Democrats played dirty, but we got the dub. It's been a long campaign, from Queens to Tampa Bay, but I praise God that he let me live to see this precious day. From Israel to Iran, and Russia to Ukraine, Joe made us a joke, they don't see us the same.
Welcome into Down the Rabbit Hole podcast. If you are tuning in, you fell off the brink, and you are now down the hole where the madness starts. We're sitting here reflecting on this ride, this wild election season that we just went through. You're talking about up and down for 6 months for me, the ride was. But now that it's over, I can wholeheartedly say that I am
unburdened by what has been.
Without a doubt. I'm glad it's over. Man, it was wild. I mean, they tried to kill this man twice. They tried to put him in jail. They tried to frame him to be a madman. And he came out victorious, man. What do y'all think about that?
Teflon Don, baby.
I'll tell
Nothing
you.
stick to that, man.
But just going through this ride, like emotionally, it takes a toll on you. I see why these people are flipping out, you know. Have y'all watched some of these reaction videos? Have y'all seen them?
It's pitiful.
Oh, it is literally
Grown-ass
insane.
adults.
Yeah, have you seen any of the reaction videos?
Yeah, I've seen several of them.
These people are having slam meltdowns because they didn't win. And I'll be honest with y'all, I was already braced for the impact.
Right.
And, you know, Brian a lot of times told me he didn't like me saying that. Over and over he told me, don't be negative. Mm-hmm. I just felt like, you know, the type of people that you're dealing with, they're going to do whatever they can to retain power. That was what I thought. So.
I think that's why you're seeing the meltdowns is because they were wanting power so much. They didn't care about what was right or wrong. It was about the control. And it's like a little kid that doesn't get the toy at the toy store. Mm-hmm. And they don't get the toy, they just flip out and lose it, right? We lost in 2020 because it was stolen. We just went to work, man.
Right. And a lot of people would try to hold your feet to the fire just for saying that, but I definitely think it was stolen in 2020.
Wait, I said we lost in 2020 because it was stolen.
Yeah. Yeah. It was, but
yeah,
you know,
we didn't lose. Though.
Yeah, well, no, but I'm saying a lot of people would be like, "Oh, you really believe that?" Because they even tried to, have Trump a couple times. He kind of dodged the question, you know, with his wit.
He has court indictments over contesting the election, and that, I mean, what free world is it if you can't contest the results of an election?
Right. So, with that being said, I want y'all to take a look at these suspicious numbers here. You see anything funny in 2020?
Yeah, about
more
30,
votes cast.
About 25, 30.
Why all of a sudden is there 27 million more votes in 2020?
Do you got the breakdown of the chart that shows Democrat and Republican votes?
No, I can find that, but look at the bottom what this guy says. Maybe we really did steal the election. Yeah, y'all most definitely did.
Yeah, but there's a chart. It's I don't know what you'd call it, columns or whatever, but if you look, 2020 for the Democrats is like way up here, but if you drew a line across all the elections, like every year for Democrat votes, like it's straight, and then there's like this much above in 2020 for Joe.
Wow. Yeah, it was quite the ride, man.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, is it too soon? Is it too soon for that?
No.
Is it too soon?
I didn't expect that. That's hilarious.
If somebody could have bet, if somebody would have bet their money on Trump winning and Tyson throwing the fight, they'd have it made right now.
I think he's on drugs.
I'll tell you that.
I think he's on drugs.
Tyson would have knocked that dude out.
Yeah.
You see all them punches he pulled?
No.
Yeah.
There were so many times that he could have just clean shot him, and
Seriously.
He could have.
Got him.
He could have wore his head out.
Yeah.
But instead, Jake won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, man.
That dude, and that's the thing. Like, I honestly think he was on drugs. I mean, showing his ass, all that. But the only way to, like, keep him from going into that killer instinct that he has is to probably sedate him. Like, that's the only way they kept him, because as soon as Jake popped him in the nose and he fucking blacked out, dude, it was over.
Did y'all see that video where Tyson got a couple good punches in, and then they kind of hugged, and you could see Jake kind of saying something, and then he tapped him on the back like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like then he was telling him, hey, man, do you want to get paid?
It took a minute for that to go through, too.
Yeah.
And then there was a time he was holding his gloves up and he was biting on the glove, and I think he was telling himself, like, chill out. You know, he's like, oh, I see these shots, but I mean, hey, you know, he's like, screw it, I made $20 million plus. Who cares?
So y'all did watch some of the meltdowns?
I couldn't, man. I'd scroll right past that shit. It'd pop up on TikTok, and I'd watch it. I'd be like, man.
You're talking about the most mentally unstable people that you can imagine. Let me give you one right here.
They're brainwashed.
Watch this. Here. Do you see what I'm saying? These people done lost their mind.
Have you seen the 4B movement?
Oh, yeah, where they're like cutting their hair, taking their makeup off.
Yeah, so some kind of movement that started kind of like, you know, the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
So in Korea, I think North Korea, they started this. And I don't exactly know what it was, just over being mistreated or whatever. And so now all these females are coming on TikTok and like, oh, 4B movement. And, you know, I just keep going on there and be like, why is your head not shaved? Why are you talking about it, but you ain't being about it? Like, don't talk about it, be about it. Shave that head. And they're like, well, we're not going to get married. We're not going to have relationships with men, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at these people. I'm like, you've already been doing that.
Yeah.
Don't lie.
And some of them are
you
saying,
ain't been with a man in years.
Yeah, some of them are saying like you need to divorce your husband and all this stuff. That they're not going to have sex with them.
Right.
And one of them said that if you even talk to her going down the street, that she would tase you and then scream for the police.
Please do that.
It's complete madness.
Please
Total
do that.
madness, man.
Yeah.
There was one, and the lady was she voted Kamala and her husband voted Trump, and
They
she
canceled
was
each
just
other
on
out.
there.
Then they
Just-
cancel each other out.
right.
They should have just fucking went to dinner
Stay
instead.
at home.
But she was like, I need advice. Should I divorce him right now and take everything and leave? First thing a Democrat would say, should I take everything and leave, right?
Some people took it a little better than others. This guy, I feel bad for this guy. Check him out. He looks so sad, don't he? He just looks so sad.
Damn, he had about 10 signs up in his yard.
He probably voted that many times too.
At least
Probably.
he just
Still
counted
lost.
his losses, you know?
Yeah. People acting like that. You're supposed to be a grown adult, and you're acting like that. Check this one out. I got another one right here. This is my last one.
I'm sorry. No. Why? Why? Do you really hate me that bad?
Who hates her?
Man,
Why
I've
is
seen
it-
that one too. Though I almost kind of wonder because their influences, if they're trying to do that, like
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
it's a show.
The clout chasing.
That one, when I seen that, I was like, that's a bit much. Plus, she's in a nursing outfit. Like she has like a job and pays taxes. She's probably voted Trump.
You're underestimating the mental instability that these people encompass.
No, I'm not. They as a matter of fact, that's one of the main problems with this country is we have a mental crisis. You know, all this LGBTQ plus all that. Man,
Gender identity.
Yeah,
is a big one for me.
thinking it's okay to teach elementary school age children that they don't have to be a boy or a girl if they don't want to be. You know, tampon Tim putting tampons in the boys' bathrooms. Like we have a mental health crisis in this country on top of a drug pandemic.
Absolutely.
But the up and down of this, just for us, you know, because we all have a vested interest in, you know, having prosperity, and the only way to get that out of those two choices is most definitely Donald Trump.
Anybody seen Bitcoin lately?
Oh, it went crazy the next day.
that
All-time
like
high.
90
It's about to break
90K?
98, about to break 100. They said it would break 100. Basically, crypto, which was riding pretty high on Trump, is at 2020 plus all-time highs. So, you know, you got Elon's now in a cabinet position. What?
Yeah, it's called Doge. His cabinet is Doge.
Called Doge. I know
Department
him
of
and Vince
Government Efficiency.
Kwame. Yeah, him and Vince Kwame. Like
What is it?
It's called Doge, the same as his Bitcoin.
the acronym
Oh,
Yeah.
Department of Government Efficiency.
Efficiency.
Yeah. And then the Democrats came out and they're like, it's going to take 2 guys to run it. Nah, motherfucker, them 2 guys about to fire 1,000. Trust me, they going to.
Ask the people that worked at Twitter what happened when Elon come.
Yeah.
I hope they go in there and clean house of all,
That's
all
exactly.
these FBI heads and everybody who's covering up evidence and everybody who was like,
That's RFK.
you know, I still think the Secret Service needs to be gone through and find out who was allowing all that crap to go on because they wanted him dead.
Yeah.
They probably still do.
Yeah, and I'm scared for them.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be more attempts. There's 100% going to be more attempts,
It's fine now.
and it's
fine.
going to be harder now. But still, it's. I feel I'd hate to know that I'm the guy that half the country is leaning on to make us better, and the other half of the country wants me dead. Like, damn, that's a rough place
It's
to
actually,
be in.
to be exact, and this is only people that voted, it's about 76,838,984,000 people that don't want the man dead.
Okay.
But the other 74,327,659 apparently don't, that is not favorable.
Right.
Just so you know, that is a 2.5 million swing in our favor. So they're going to have to take 2.5 million out before they even get even.
Yeah.
What, you're talking about a swing. I actually have an image brought up. California, the difference between 2020 and 2024. Have you seen
Oh,
this?
shit. I have not seen that. That's crazy.
I'm going to throw out one of my other
surprising for
factoids here. So Trump flipped 90% of counties between 2020 and 2024. I got another TikTok shirt, and the back of it is better coverage than Verizon. So
Got him.
33 to 17 if there's 50 states in this grand union, I believe there are.
Yeah.
33 states went to Donald Trump.
Did any of y'all watch the vice presidential debate?
Yeah.
Vance had that on lock.
Oh, he did.
JD
he's
killed
sharp.
him. JD killed him.
Yeah.
Can I be controversial on this episode?
You do whatever you want.
Yeah, JD killed him.
Read this out for me here, BC, if you will.
All right. From the Real Grit podcast. Hey, at the Democrats, I know you guys are very upset right now, but you should cheer up. I'm trying to read ahead to make sure what I'm reading into.
No, I'm not going to do I ain't gonna do that way. Trust me. Go ahead with it.
All right. None of your fears are legit. None will come to pass. Your penalty for losing will be prosperity, liberty, and security. You are welcome. Sincerely, normal people.
Got him.
So
That's what they get for losing.
That's what I was
wrong.
thinking about. The people that are having these like major breakdowns, in a way, I feel bad for them because a lot of these people are convinced that Trump is going to deport everybody and stop gay marriage and, stop,
abortions and all that.
Yeah.
You got daughters, right?
Yeah.
You got daughters?
That's all I got is daughters.
You got
Me
daughters?
too, bro.
Man, I feel bad. They lost all their rights on election day.
Yeah, they won't be able to
I mean,
vote.
have they been able to cope? I mean, they lost all their rights. My mother-in-law was laughing about that shit.
Is that why I'm not
She was
getting-
like, "Did I lose the right to pay taxes?"
No, that's right. Shit.
Shit, me too. I'm gonna jump on the me too on that one.
Let's talk about some of the man. There was so many records broke with this election, though. Like, I see you got a list, but I mean, I do know this right here that it was the biggest popular vote count by a Republican ever.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
I think that one is circumstantial, though, and they're I'm going to say, yeah, that's fucking awesome, but I think it's circumstantial because we all know the population increases exponentially year over year. So,
Right.
True.
I mean, it's kind of like they had more WWE fans at the W deal, like there's more people, like it's kind of a given they're going to sell more tickets, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one, and it's for the record books. It might not ever be broken again. This man has created a movement bigger than any other political movement ever, in my opinion, in my lifetime. I don't know about prior, but but there are a lot of firsts. I don't, if you want me to run through a couple, I got some, but.
Yeah, let's hear some of what you got wrote down right there.
So it's
I'm
really
curious.
more about being the non-incumbent because a lot of times a president, when they're president, of course, if things are going good, they're riding high, people are just going to vote them right on through. That's normal. He should have won 2020 because things were riding high, COVID, blah, blah, blah. But now it's actually created some more stuff for the history books, and he's the non-incumbent that has won first non-incumbent to win popular since George H.W., 1988. It's been 20 years since a Republican has won the popular vote. So he's set some more recent, kind of things that aren't just, there's more people that voted because there's more people in the world. Like, these are like real records, in my opinion. Only president since Grover Cleveland in 1892 to win non-consecutive elections. 1892.
I was wondering about those numbers because, that's unheard of almost.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the popular vote and the numbers he got, the support and all that, it's been there for 3 elections. As a matter of fact, for 3 elections, he's broke records for the popular vote. But
what do y'all attribute the success to? I mean, do you think it's just that he's a great politician, a great smooth talker, or do you think he's just relatable to the common sense person?
The latter.
The last one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You think that's what it is?
Yeah. No, people are sick and tired of politicians as it is. We're sick and tired of these people that get in the House and the Senate and they stay there forever and they come out multi-millionaires. Like, where are you getting all this money on $100-something thousand salary?
Pelosi.
Yeah. So, they're rigging the stock market. They're getting lobbyists to pay them all kinds of crap to bend and break rules for them. And people are sick of it. They want somebody in there that is for the people. Our president is supposed to be our whole government is supposed to be for the people. And we haven't had that since probably shortly after we left Britain,
Yeah, I get really annoyed when people call him a public servant. I'm like, you ain't serving a damn thing. No. But why do you think he is so starkly hated?
Because he's burning the circle he was a part of. He was an elite. He was an elite, celebrity. He was looked on. A lot of those people, he knows them really well. And he finally just said it's enough. But he's got an old interview with Oprah where he's floating, running for president or whatever. This guy's always kind of been right-minded. He just never felt strongly enough to go run for president. Whenever he did, they all flipped out because they're like, man, they're getting exposed.
Didn't he used to be registered on the left side?
He was Democrat.
He was,
and he's a moderate.
He's from New York.
End of the day, he's a moderate. Yeah, he's a moderate.
He's just one of those guys that, he became president. He's on Twitter saying stuff. You're like, there's times where I'm like, oh shit, did he just say that on Twitter?
Yeah, he don't have much filter.
No, he don't have a filter, and people don't like that. They're like, oh, if you're the president, you're supposed to be this way.
Yeah.
But this way, where has this way gotten us?
Fake. That's where it is.
But where has it gotten us? We gotta. Who cares what people think? At the end of the day, you got to do what's best for the country. Period.
Did you see my new shirt?
I did, yeah.
Did y'all see John Jones?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
After he won the belt?
I also want to say a big, big thank you to President Donald Trump for being here tonight. Can I get a party? Hey, what do you guys think about my version of the Donald Trump? Check it out. Let's go. That's what I like. I'm proud to be a great American champion. I'm proud to be a Christian American champion.
Something just came across where the Border Patrol morale was suddenly up because they know that now they can get the bad guys.
I saw that, yeah.
You saw that?
Yeah, I did.
So, the way it is right now, I guess they just get a free pass.
That's what it seems
Basically.
like.
Have you seen the Border Patrol people are complaining because they're restricted now. They're going out there and they see people doing it and they can't do anything.
Can you break into Russia the way that people just?
Oh
come
yeah,
in?
I want you to try.
Yeah,
I
didn't have the money to go. I was just gonna, take a little John boat over there and jump on shore and
You can't even break into Canada, bro.
Why are we the
Try
only
going
ones,
to Canada.
Why are we the only ones with all the? We got all the infrastructure, all the money. Why are we the only ones where people just come in by the hordes.
That's what I don't understand. Like last weekend, I was hanging out with a buddy from work, and his brother was saying he can't go to Canada, and it was some bullshit reason. But like you said, every other place you try to go, they lock it down.
I'm going to say something that I think I just really just kind of dreamed this up because you asked the question. As Christians and as what most conservatives are, we do believe in, fair chance and benefit of the doubt and all that stuff. And I think that's why we're somewhat accepting over people coming into this country illegally, right? And we also don't forget the fact that we all came here.
True.
As a white man, I wasn't, I might have been born here, but, I know the history. So the fact is, I think there's a little bit of a past there. The problem is how the extreme side of it that the Democrats want to allow it to where you're going to let, violent criminals and all of that come in. And then there's no repercussion for that. That's where the line gets drawn. You come over here and you want to go work on a farm and you're contributing and building a family. I got you.
Yeah.
You come over here and you're fucking murdering people like Lake and Riley and you're doing that bullshit, dude, you got to go.
Right. That's how it should be. Exactly. I mean, we're a melting pot. We started.
Yeah, the melting pot. There you go. That's it. Yeah. Melting pot.
We all came over here on a boat. All our people did.
Shit to me. Hell, I didn't drive myself over here. I'm just as guilty as the rest of them, I guess, but.
But when they came over here back then, they were doing it the legal way.
And for the right reasons.
Yeah. I mean, they came over here to, for opportunity and the American dream. And that's great. But they came over on a boat. They put their name on paperwork. They did what they were supposed to do. They got their citizenship and they contributed. And then if they got in trouble after that, then you, like anybody else, you go to jail, you do your time, blah, blah, blah. But now these people are coming over here.
They're just plundering.
Yeah. I mean, they're arresting people for, they let a Hispanic guy out that had sexually assaulted a small child. And what'd he do when he got out? He did it again. He should have been on the next van or bus going
and
back down
that's
to his
the
country.
point. That's what Trump, when he said mass deportation, and the Democrats were on the Sunday deal, and they're like, "Oh, it's going to shut down the farming community. Your groceries, you're going to run out of groceries." Dude, we ain't messing with them. Like Jose over there picking the fucking tomatoes, he's good. But goddamn Juan over there that's fucking killed 3 people, his ass is fucking out of here.
I'm in roofing, so that's going to hurt me if they take all my guys. They'd be like, "Hey, you going to do this?"
There was so much propaganda swirling prior to this election. Did y'all see the reports of that guy, whoever this mysterious guy that had these 20 scorecards that he would keep, and he has supposedly had accurately predicted every single presidential election since his lifetime. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And he went for Kamala.
Yes.
So I'm sitting there thinking, so now he's got one wrong.
Right.
And what about all the polls? Poll after poll after poll after poll of Kamala winning this, winning that, winning that. I'm to the point now I have absolutely zero confidence in any poll ever because it means absolutely chicken squat.
Well, look, if I want to run a poll, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to ask 5 guys, all right, if guns should be allowed. Okay. I'm going to ask you 5. I'm not going to somebody who's got a Kamala sign in their front yard and ask them. No. Yeah. I'm going to ask you guys, and then my poll's going to look good.
Kamala owns a Glock.
Yeah, she shot a Glock. I got a Glock. So what about after she lost that she didn't even appear to the constituents? Did y'all notice that?
Yeah. Kind of like Hillary.
She told him to go home.
She was gone.
She never came out. It's like you're so...
She stopped in the middle of one of her rallies.
What kind of leader is that? You can't come out and say, look, it didn't go good. Instead, she sends somebody out and she appears days later. I guess they were just devastated, but you still should have some semblance of strength.
I'll add on to that.
Absolutely.
Where has she been since she made her concession speech?
Well, I think she's probably down at the welfare office trying to get a little help because she has a $20 million debt now.
Yeah.
After she spent $1 billion on her campaign, way more than Trump did, and $20 million in debt. She paid Beyonce $10 million to do that last rally. But here's the thing:
I got to do it.
You're getting a lady that you're telling is going to make her economy better that can't even handle $1 billion without going 20 million in debt. And
that's insane.
The thing that I think killed her at the end, all the people she paid to come were pretty much all of them were on Diddy's list. Like you got all of Diddy's people to come.
That makes sense.
The old diddler.
I bet the Democrats were like, when they saw these people come on stage, they were like, oh my God. Oh my God, we're gonna lose.
You want to know where I picture her? And I mean, we're all been in relationships, married one time or another, whatever you have it, but I'm just thinking like, even like the sitcoms, I picture her wrapped up in like a blanket on the couch with like a half gallon of ice cream and bonbons, just fucking crying, watching like some women, like
watching
fucking the
Notebook.
Hallmark Channel or something. That's how I see her.
So does anybody know how much Trump spent? Because if she spent $1 billion trying to get elected.
I think they said he spent about half of that.
Wow.
Like 400 or 500 million.
I mean, he's so good.
Her debt off,
He's rational.
He offered to pay her debt.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did.
He did, for real?
So she wants to come out during the debate and do the handshake and think she's on the up. But now Trump is showing him who the real deal is.
Right.
I hope he does pay it.
He saved a lot of money by living in the Democrats' heads because they could not get him off their fucking networks, like late night shows, every fucking morning news, midday news, afternoon news, talk show. Like that guy has had more publicity since 2016 than anybody in the fucking history of the world for free.
Right.
Do you know who actually has to swear in the next president?
Who?
The vice president of the current administration.
Kamala?
She has to what?
Kamala's going to have to fucking swear him in. I'm going to look it up right now. I'm telling you, that's why Pence had to be at the last one. Yeah, the VP swears in the next president. So, yeah.
Can she refuse?
She can do what the fuck she wants to. Trump's president.
Unburdened by what has been.
I wanted to go to the inauguration. I looked up tickets. I was severely disappointed.
How much? You got to pay for that?
Jesus.
You can buy. Yeah, it's like a concert kind of arena deal or whatever. But yeah, like I think the cheapest ticket's like $4,000.
Oh my goodness!
Now there is a way you can get tickets through your local representatives. It's like the sheriff, the mayor, the whatever senator, but they only get 4 tickets each.
Well, also you can get in. You can just go jump the fence since we're still being led by Biden.
Yeah, we're still
just jump the fence and walk right in.
So what about all the charges against Trump and the lawsuits? All that is like now dropped, right?
Dismissed.
It has to be, don't it? They can't proceed.
It's going to be really hard to convict. I thought he was already convicted of some of these things. I thought he was already a felon.
Well, I saw
He was awaiting sentencing, but
right.
I forget the proper term for it, but I think it's been adjudicated or whatever.
Well, there was a video of his attorney.
Adjudicated,
yeah.
There was a video of his attorney making the statement to that prosecutor that we dare you to come mess with us now. And I was like, oh boy.
Did you see her speech whenever after he won?
She's relentless, ain't she?
Yeah, she's crazy.
She's still coming?
Unhinged.
She's still coming?
That's what she claims. Yeah.
The DOJ, right? The DOJ is the one.
No, Letitia James.
No, but it's the DOJ that is pressing charges, or he's like.
No, Jack Smith is no more.
Well, I don't know who it was, but I saw right after they said that Trump won. Whoever it was, the DOJ or whoever it is, put out a statement like, yeah, we're going to reevaluate this. Like, I bet you will now.
99.99999, all of them were bullshit charges anyways.
Yeah, they were all
like,
bullshit.
What do we, like I had a guy, he asked me, he was like, oh, what do you think about they're going to just like let him free on all that stuff? I'm like, he should have been free anyways. Like all that shit was bullshit. They lost the election, like you're done. You tried, whatever. But, the whole deal about, like, does he get immunity? Immunity from what? Being innocent?
Right.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
They were saying the charges they brought him up on, if you could literally go back and bring every past president up on them same charges.
Yeah.
I thought that a couple of days ago. I was like, if he hadn't run at all, would any of those charges been put in place?
No.
Many. 0.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like I said, they weaponized it, and they all like to roll their eyes and say, hoo. But they definitely did weaponize it. That's why I'm hoping when they get these cabinet picks in there, you really need to go through all these alphabet clubs, DOJ, CIA, FBI, SS, whoever else, IRS, and you got to clear out the junk. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're going to have to.
I think that's what Matt Gaetz is going to end up doing, even though he withdrew his name the other day.
I wonder why he did that.
Because he's going to be special counsel. And you don't have to go through any kind of like vetting process for that. Trump can just appoint him to be special counsel, just like they did with Jack Smith.
What'd the Biden administration do the week within the week of the election? What did they do?
Man, I haven't even seen that guy. And when I did, he wasn't.
They authorized the use of long-range missiles that are U.S. supplied. They basically what you were saying is basically Putin was coming out. He's like, all right, hey, I'd like to work with this guy. Of course, that's a bad thing, I guess, in the Democrats' mind if your enemies actually want to like negotiate and compromise. Mm-hmm. In my household, if my wife's pissed off, I'm hoping she wants to compromise and negotiate, but whatever. So the thing is, so Putin come out, Trump said the whole time, he was like, if I get elected, I'll have this war over before I take office, and immediately on the heels of him winning, Biden comes out and authorizes the use of long-range missiles, U.S.-backed missiles, that's escalation.
Supplied the missiles and supplied the people that would know how to operate them and stuff.
He fucking just threw gas on the fire.
China also said something very similar after Trump won. Like, oh, that's great. We're glad for America.
You fucking right.
There were some reports where they were buying up and about to build these big factories in Mexico because it was so close to here and they could like bring all their stuff in. And Trump said there's going to be tariffs on that if I get in office. And just him saying that, they backed out.
Yeah.
Just from saying that. Didn't even have to take action.
Yeah, old John Deere. What did they say about John Deere? 200% tariff if you're gonna use build and do all that in Mexico.
Man, we ought to put John Deere out of business for even thinking that.
Yeah, really.
Talking about big green tractor.
But if you're going to try to go down there and build these John Deeres somewhere else and bring them here, then you should have to pay to bring them here and sell them. Yes.
Absolutely.
If you don't like that, then go somewhere else.
Well, he said the tariffs too would reduce our income taxes, and that's great for us. So if our price goes up but our tax comes down a little bit, if price goes up, then cost of living should go up. Everything should go up. People get raises. I mean, it'll be better for us.
It'll follow. Yeah.
Here's the thing with the tariffs, where so many people get bent out of shape, and the Democrats will try to, it's going to cost you more to buy it. It's going to cost you more to buy it. No, it's not, because that's why tariffs are effective. They know that their cost of goods will be more than anybody will pay for it. It will put them out of business. You're not going to buy it. They're all like, people are going to pay like 500% more for fucking wine. Do you know what they did with that tariff? The motherfuckers like, nope, and wine never got affected. The tariffs are a negotiating or bargaining tool.
Right.
And so this whole deal, this fear of you're going to have to pay more for your stuff. No, you're not. That's business stuff. You just stay over there as a consumer and let him run the fucking business.
So why is John Deere making them somewhere else? Man, that's like one of the second most iconic American names next to Harley Davidson that's ever been. You're making John Deere somewhere else and bringing them here?
It's lower worker cost.
Yeah,
right?
it's got a lot to do with that, resources, manufacturing, blah blah blah. You can go, the list goes on. But even like Made in America, those parts are fucking made somewhere else and brought in. It's assembled in America.
Assembled.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not against global economy. Like, I don't have a problem with it. But if you got a country that's fucking you, you threaten to tariff their ass, and then they're going to back off.
Yeah.
We sell rice to China. It makes no sense.
That's the craziest
They grow
thing
all the
ever.
rice you could ever eat, but we sell rice to China. So, it goes back and forth. It's weird how it works sometimes when you think about that. Like, why would we sell rice to China when they have rice fields all over the place? But we do, and it's
I think
weird
it goes
how
back
works,
to
but
kind
that's
of the
how it
global
works.
economy. I mean, it's fine. Like, you think about like spices and stuff like that. Like, that's how the whole civilization has worked. Like, we're gonna buy and sell and trade, and like you go. Like, oh man, that's pretty cool. I'd like to have some of that. Okay, I'll sell you some, But then when you get into the political part of it, it's like, okay, well, I don't like you, so I'm going to make you're going to have to pay like 10%, for you to sell that to my friends. And, it gets into that where they hold that, they're the gatekeeper, which is the port, right? Yeah. So the port is the gatekeeper. And it's like, well, if you want it through the port, you're going to have to, you gotta give me a little bit on the side, and then we'll let you sell it to the rest of the people. And they're going to say, all right, fine, we'll give you 10%. We're going to raise it 20%. Fuck it. We'll make our 10% plus your 10%. That's tariffs in a nutshell.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I'm surprised that they eat our rice over there.
We eat their beef.
What about RFK coming out talking about cleaning up all the food and stuff? Y'all been watching that?
I ate McDonald's this week. I'm telling you what, the fucking nuggets were already better.
Bro, pharmaceutical, I guarantee you pharmaceutical companies are gearing up to.
Yeah, well, you got to think about it. It's kind of it's this crazy spider web we're in where they poison us with the food, And then the pharmaceutical gets to treat us, not cure us, but treat us for all these issues that we're getting from the food. This lady was talking to, somebody was like, why don't you give your kids some snack? It was like Oreos or Nutter Butters or something, right? She's like, I'm going to show you why. She pulled out an old package of that particular snack from like 1980, had 7 ingredients in it. Then she pulled out the new snack, 27 ingredients in it. And they're all shit you can't even pronounce, and then half of it you look up and you look it up, oh, that's a carcinogen, it causes cancer. This has been linked to cancer. This has been linked to cancer. Everything's been linked to cancer. Yeah, preservatives, cancer causing agents. And I really wonder if it's cheaper for them to make that or if it's just a way they designed it with big pharma to keep us sick, to keep us, unhealthy, obese, everything else. And they can just treat that because they don't want to cure shit. There's no money in a cure.
I think you can get back into the alphabet club, like what Jason was talking about, your alphabet club, which is ATF and all that. And I think that, you get into your groups like that and they kind of sell that like, hey, this ingredient or something like that. How do you go from 7 to 27 is what I'm trying to articulate here. Is they get in there and be like, oh, well, if you add this, it'll give you an extra day of shelf life, or oh, if you add this, it'll you can cut the sugar out, but add this in there and it makes the same sweetness. They start to get in there, and then really what they're doing is they're in there lobbying for their buddy's fucking company that figured out how to make synthetic sugar or sweetener.
Correct.
And
yes.
But they really don't know what the effects are. It's like it's a non-FDA approved, but it'll be all right, man. We've been eating this stuff and. They don't fucking care. They're just trying to sell it.
All right, I'm gonna tell you something that grossed me out. And when I heard this, I stopped drinking them immediately.
I know exactly what you're fixing to say.
Celsius, the Celsius drinks that you drink. Mm-hmm. So what they do is they take sewer water from the sewer plants, and it develops this sludge on top. They scrape that sludge off, and they do something to it, and they use that in those drinks.
So you're telling me that's why they sell them buy 2, get 3 free at Harris Teeter?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bro.
It's way cheaper for them to get that ingredient
Same
out
thing.
and they put it in there.
Right. Same thing. So they're taking, instead of just taking, why don't you just take fruit and water and the other additives and mix it up and make a good drink?
It's more expensive.
But there's another thing. And this one is it contradicts itself, because generally I would think the food companies will want their food to go bad, because the quicker it goes bad. All right, if I buy a box of cereal and I open it up and I don't eat it for 2 weeks, when I come back in 2 weeks, that cereal is stale. Well, that's how it used to be. Not now. I went in and, I got kids, so I go in to get me a bowl of cereal and I open the box and the bag's completely open in there. They don't fold it up or nothing. I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. I bought this 4 weeks ago, and I, taste test one. I'm like, that's still pretty crunchy. So it doesn't even go bad like it used to. I had a pack of blueberries in my refrigerator. It was like sitting there for 3 weeks. I was like, oh man, these things are going to be like mushy. They tasted fresh as could be.
So what's it do though? What's it do for, but I mean, as a consumer,
yes, I'll
you're
tell
going
you
to
what
buy
it
that
does.
shit again.
There's so much preservatives in all this food that when we put in our body does not absorb the nutrients that it's supposed to absorb out of that food. It's like shell coating everything. Everything goes to your body as a shell coat. And yeah, your body will break through some of it, but like it don't have the time to break through all of that. And so, yeah, excuse me, guys. And so basically, that's how the food industry has become. They want to make their stuff cheaper. They want to make it look better for longer on the shelves, and they don't give a crap what it does to your body. You're getting this stuff that says organic. You're like, oh, that's organic. It's going to be good for me. Absolutely not. You got to really look in the ingredients. And now we have all this genetically modified meat and different things. Like there's so much stuff in the grocery store. If you look at it, a lot of that stuff is now saying genetically modified ingredients.
GMO.
But isn't it interesting that just now we have a guy who stood up, RFK, says, we're going to tackle this problem. It's just been run rampant with nothing for as long as I can remember.
Same thing with the energy drinks. He already said he's going to take out what he needs to.
Well,
Monster, Red Bulls.
About 10 years ago, I started seeing these weird videos like, look, this food's illegal in different countries. And I thought, what? They say our food's poisonous, and you would hear about these. I was at this company one time, Northern Tool, and these guys came from China. And I remember they were all like saying, "It's weird. They won't eat the food here." It's like they know something.
They do.
Back then, I thought, "What in the world?" But it's just weird. It took this long before somebody would stand up and say, "We're going to make the food healthy again."
If you look up, so I don't remember. I saw this thing, and I only remember one because I use it. The coffee creamer you buy, like the hazelnut coffee creamer,
Yeah.
and the liquid stuff, and that's kept cold, is illegal over in like Europe, China, all these places. They don't have that.
Is it toxic?
It's toxic. Yeah, there's so many toxic chemicals in it. Also, same thing. If you take a cereal, Fruit Loops, for instance, and you take one from England and you look at the ingredients, you have like 7 ingredients in the Fruit Loops from there. You have like 30 ingredients from the Fruit Loops here.
Did y'all see this? I always love it. They always say they're going to leave, and they never do. But Ellen DeGeneres apparently
We finally got 2.
fled. She's out of here.
Her and her wife.
Going to UK.
Finally.
Can't live here under Trump. Got to go.
Well, she's also escaping that Epstein list, too.
Yeah.
She's gotta watch out for
Yeah,
Well,
really.
she was one of Diddy's friends too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's splitting. Yeah.
All the people that were on Epstein's list, I guarantee the vast majority of them are on Diddy's list. I mean, why haven't we seen Epstein's list? Didn't Trump say as soon as I get in office, we're gonna bust that list out?
That and some of the
Because most
files.
of them are still serving in office right now.
Yeah, right.
He talked about some of the JFK files too.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm going to
Yeah,
open
yeah.
them, slam up." I'm like, "Boy, I'm looking forward to seeing that."
Yeah, that's interesting. man.
I think he said something a little bit more than that.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure he told RFK that he was going to turn him over to him and let him create a committee.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's creating a committee on
I
this.
think he's basically handing the fucking the keys to RFK Jr. and saying, "Here you go. Here's the files. You look through them, and then you get a committee and you do what the fuck you want."
shit.
Yeah.
Did everybody here see the Joe Rogan podcast with Trump? Did y'all want to see that?
I watched. I didn't see the whole thing, but I watched a lot of it.
I watched
thinking
the
about-
whole thing. It got better at the last hour.
I thought about reaching out to Joe Rogan, see if he'd come and hang out with us for an episode. If
You want me to go-
Hey, we could go to his. Either
Yeah.
way, he's
Either
more than
way,
welcome. I'm down. I'm down to go to his junk too. You know.
Well, we are definitely coming. This has been a good episode. We are getting to the end of our time. Jenkins, do you want to take us on out of here, man?
All right, guys. Thank you for joining in Down the Rabbit Hole podcast. We talked a little bit about the past election, how Trump hopefully is going to actually drain the swamp this time, get our food healthier, get the government better. So what we'd like you to do is smash that like button. All right. Smash it, subscribe, hit the little bell thing, whatever that is. I don't even know what it does, but hit it. And join us for the next podcast. We got some good topics coming up. Send us an email if you'd like some topics to be discussed, something that's on your mind you want us to talk about. Send it over. We'll talk about it. All right, guys.